Hi guys, say hi when you're on. I'm gonna figure out how to share this to the group. Say hi if you get on. I'm basically inviting everyone from the group on here. Oh hey, okay. Hi guys. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about working your business around a super crazy schedule because nobody comes into this. And if you guys can you share this to our group for our group chat, because I couldn't figure out how to do that, but somebody share it to that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about working your business around a crazy schedule because nobody comes into this having a ton of time, whether you're a stay-at-home mom and you're with the kids all day and life is hectic, or if you work a lot of hours, or if you have college. Like, nobody comes in here just having like all the time in the world to work on their business. And so I'm going to tell you like a little backstory on me. Is I started April in 2017. I was in college for architectural engineering, and I was doing more than full-time college. I was doing like 5 classes, and it was like AutoCAD, Revit, house design, roof plans, engineering, like math classes and stuff like that. So it was super crazy, super hectic with that. And then on top of that, I was working. And then on top of that, I'm a single mom. And then on top of that, my girls had activities like baking lessons and all the things that kids like to do while growing up. So life was super crazy. But I still managed to go diamond in 90 days. So I'm basically going to help you kind of just like tell you guys like what kind of things that I was doing that helped me to promote so quickly and stay on top of my business.
Mommy, come here.
I can't right now. I'm doing the live right now.
Okay.
So, so first things first is that you should always have your lists wherever you go. So when I first started, I had this binder and I carried it around everywhere with me. I took you don't have to have a binder, whatever system works for you, but you should always have your chart, your potential distributor list, your potential customer list, and then your hundreds list on you. Just so as you're working throughout your day, you're able to add people to your potential customer list, potential distributor. You're not getting like lost with who you've talked to all day. And another thing is like, I feel like you should always have your chart with you no matter where you go, because that's going to help you to stay so laser focused on what you want, and just like a constant reminder of like how many distributors you need, how much volume you need every day. And I think it's so important to know exactly where you are and exactly how to get to where you're trying to go. So that was one thing that I did, was I just had this binder. I don't use it anymore because I carry around like a clipboard now, but this helped so much. Another thing is you want to be intentional with your time. So you want to schedule out your week, and you kind of want to know, like, I'm not saying like schedule your life hour by hour, but you know what things are going to be coming up in your life throughout the week, whether it's college classes or whether it's doctor appointments or kids activities or family events or working. Those things are always going to be there, and that's not really something that you can like push around. So you want to know what's going on your schedule, and you want to work when you can. Like for me, I worked at a coffee stand, and it was high volume, so it was constantly like go, 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 and you're the only person working in the coffee stand, and we did not have breaks. And I know somebody's probably like, yeah, that's illegal. You have to have like a 30-minute break or whatever, like in so many hours. No, that's just not how it is when you work at a coffee stand. Your break is basically, if you don't have a car for the minute, then you've got a second. So it's basically knowing, like, if I had, my full schedule of classes, I knew that in between, if I had like 15 minutes between a class, I knew that those 15 minutes were going to be spent working on the business. If I had a second between cars at work, I was working on the business. If I had like a lunch break at school between like an hour period between classes, I knew that I was going to be working on my business at those times. So it's knowing what's on your schedule and figuring out times that you can be working your business. Another thing is working on your lunch breaks. So like, I know typically some people, maybe, I don't know whether you have like a 15-minute break or a 30-minute break or an hour-long break. If you are someone who usually spends that break going to get Subway or going to get McDonald's or going to get whatever you're getting for lunch, I would start packing your lunch, because then that's time. That's a power 30, that's a power 15, that's a power hour that you could spend eating wherever you're going to eat, whether it's in your car or at work or at your desk or whatever, without having to spend that time to go get the food, because that's time right there that that's like precious time that you can be working your business and getting that power hour in. Another thing is waking up my kids are like creeping right now. Another thing is waking up 30 minutes earlier. So, or staying up 30 minutes later. And I know if you already have a crazy schedule and you're already up early or you're already up late, like it sucks. But I promise you, like sacrificing now for what you want in a few months when you reach that point, that what you want, whether you want to go diamond or whether you want to work from home, whatever it is. Please stop. You guys go. Come on. Go. No, I'll make you snacks after this. So it's like sacrificing the time now. So it's like getting yourself to wake up those 30 minutes earlier, staying up that 30 minutes later or an hour, whatever it may be, to make sure that you are getting your work done. Oh, thanks. Dude, it took forever to get those up. I was so mad the whole time. Okay, anyways, because yeah, making those sacrifices, like you're going to be tired no matter what. So like, you know what you want, basically, like you have to be like working hard and going after it. So that was another thing that I did. And you want to be aware of what you allow in your schedule. I notice that sometimes when I start to feel hectic in my own schedule, I look at it and I'm like, well, I'm saying yes to this and yes to that, like plans. Like people ask me, if I want to go do this or if I want to go do that, and I start saying yes to everything, and then I'm feeling hectic, like I'm not on my own schedule, I'm not getting my own things done. And it's like, pay attention to the things that you are saying yes to. Do they have to be in your schedule? Is this gonna like better you to get you to the point that you want to be? I basically had no social life for the like 3 months that I was pushing to go diamond, and honestly I wouldn't take it back, because putting aside that social life and saying no to going out to the bar or going out with friends or barbecues or random things, that is what helped me to be able to get to where I am now, where I can say yes and go to barbecues or anything whenever I want, because I get to work from home now. So like I said, sacrifice now for the things that you want, because when you get to that point, I will tell you that any Diamond Plus leader on our team will tell you that it is so worth the sacrifice now, because you're gonna reach your goal and get to that life that you want to live and that income. Another thing is at night, planning your product post or your business post the night before. I know how it feels to say, you've had a busy morning, you didn't wake up those 30 minutes early, you didn't really get like a good power hour or 30 minutes in the morning, and you're at work already, the day just goes so fast and like hectic, and you're like, oh my God, it's like 2, 3, 4 o'clock already, and you start stressing because you haven't gotten a post up, and then you're feeling like anxious, and then you're feeling like you're behind on everything, because you're like, wow, I'm not getting anything done, I'm gonna be up all night tonight, I'm not gonna finish all my tasks on our checklist, whatever it is, yada yada. So that's why it's super important, because a good product post or a good business post usually can take some time to make. Like it doesn't have to take an hour to make, but you want to put thought into that, and you want to put, like, I usually write out a post and then I kind of like play around with it a little bit. Like I said, it doesn't have to take an hour just to make the post, but you want to be able to make it when you're in like a good mindset, instead of like being rushed at work where you're trying to get some like super sloppy business post up just to get the post up. So I would always, for my nighttime power hour for myself, I always made my posting for the next day. And then say you're doing a product post tomorrow, and let's say you're doing the coffee, then you know that in the morning, once you get ready for work, you just want to take a picture with a coffee mug or your keto coffee super quick, and that's like a selfie with that's your photo for the post. Or if you know that you want to tell your story and maybe you want to do it with a selfie, that like at some point tomorrow you're going to need to take a selfie. You're already going to have your makeup done because you're doing whatever you got to do, or if it's a family photo. So it's like planning the caption is the hardest part, and then just kind of having an idea of what photo you want to go with that the next day is going to help you to be able to get that post up super quick, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. Another thing, lifestyle posts usually come natural. I mean, like I'm basically always thinking of like how I can turn something into a post. So like this weekend, my sister has a baby shower, and I already know I'm going to either turn that into a lifestyle post, a business post. So I don't really plan out my lifestyle posts. Those kind of just like come natural throughout the day with like something that pops into my head or something that happens naturally throughout my day. And then another big thing is letting time work for you. So let me kind of just explain like what I would do as a nighttime power hour, or what you can do. So a nighttime power hour before you go to bed, whether you give yourself that extra 30 minutes at night or that extra hour at night, is planning your post for the next day, like I just said. Following 40 on Instagram. I think that we're capped out at 40. I think if you try to follow 40 more, it stops right there, and it doesn't really actually follow the people for you. Finding a power hour or training to be on. It's really good to get on power hours done by other leaders because they give you a lot of tips, usually get like conversation pieces or things that you didn't really like think to do before. So power hours are everything, especially when you're new, because that's going to really get you in the mindset of like how to work and things to do and like teach you a lot. Another thing is making sure you reply to all messages at night. Making sure you've reached out to anyone who liked or commented on your product or business posting for that day, because posting is not asking, so you always want to make sure that anyone that is liking or commenting on a product or a business post, you are reaching out to them. So I make sure that by the end of the night, I have reached out to every single person that has liked, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, or that has like voted on a poll. Another thing is asking people to get host post up. I think you guys would all agree that I think that getting host post up at like 10, 15, whatever we're doing, that is like the most time consuming like task throughout the day. So one thing that I always did if I knew that I was going to do host to post is I would ask a ton of people at night. I wouldn't get to post up at night, and what I would do is like I'd send out the initial like asking message, and then what that's going to allow you to do is overnight for following people, you're going to have a bunch of requests, like follow back requests to answer. You're gonna have a ton of messages from people about the business or the products because you made sure to message them at night and like before you went to bed. And then you're gonna have a ton of people ready to do host post for you because you've already asked them to do it. And then now all you have to do is spend your extra power 30 or power hour in the morning that you have for yourself getting all the posts up for host post. And then you've got that all day long while you're working or while you're, you know, doing stuff with the babies at home or while you're in class. That time is gonna work for you. People are gonna comment on those posts. People are gonna reply to your messages. And then on your lunch break, you're gonna then in return be able to go and message those people. So that was something that super helped. What do I say? One second. Oh, another thing is in the morning when you're getting ready for the day, listen to a training or listen to your self-development. Every day I started my day like that. If I was in the car, if I was taking a shower, if I was doing my hair, my makeup, whatever it was, I stopped listening to music in the car and I was just listening to trainings or power hours. My girls had baking lessons in Seattle every Wednesday night, and I don't know why I did that because Seattle's like a 30-minute drive, but of course there's a ton of traffic, so it's really like a 2-hour drive in traffic. And so it was hell, but they did an hour-long baking lesson, and so for that hour long I sat in my car, and instead of like walking around Seattle or like doing something like super fun or whatever, I was working on my business. I was enrolling customers, enrolling distributors, I was watching trainings on something that I felt like I needed more help with. So just always finding that little bit of time to get in your self-development and your training is going to go a really long way for you. Okay, so then on your first break, like say, you know, either you have a 15, a 30, or an hour break, since you've already got your host post up in the morning, you've replied to everyone, you've gotten message replies in the morning, you're gonna have comments on your post for host post. You're gonna go through those, and then you're gonna add the people, you're gonna message them, you're gonna get your business or your product post or lifestyle post up super quick because you've already got that planned out. And then you're gonna do some interacting, you're gonna follow 40 more, you're gonna get something up on your story. And so that's like a quick way of like making sure you're getting your tasks done. Getting your post up without feeling like it's like already like, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock and you've got no business or no product post and you're not feeling consistent and you're stressed out. That's why getting it done the night before and then doing it quickly on your break or whatever you've got going on the next day, whether it's like between classes or what, just getting it up really fast and then letting time work for you again, because throughout your day while you're getting your stuff done, people are going to be liking or commenting on it. And then for your nighttime power hour, you're going to be able to reach out to everyone again who has messaged or who has commented or liked your product and business post. Do you see how that's like an easy cycle of just like staying on top of like, okay, morning I do this, midday I do this, nighttime I do this, and it kind of just like, it really keeps you on track with your goals and like what you're wanting to do with like while working a super crazy schedule. And another thing is stop mindless scrolling. That does not help you in any way, especially when you already feel so like bogged down by your schedule and you're like, how can I fit my work into this because I really want this, but I'm feeling hectic. I use an app called Focus Keeper. You can set like a time on it and then it does like a little tick sound, and that tick sound like keeps me on track. You could set like, say you're gonna follow 40 and you give yourself like 5 minutes, you set it for 5 minutes and it's just like, and just that sound just keeps me going. So I use Focus Keeper to keep me on task instead of mindless scrolling. I set an amount of time for each task. So if I'm gonna follow 40, I do like 5 minutes. If I'm gonna interact, I do like 15 minutes. Instead of just sitting there interacting, you're like, oh shoot, I just interacted for like 30 minutes. You wanna keep yourself like on a timer for your power hours and for your, like power 15s or power 30s, because that's gonna help you. You just wanna stay really efficient and really like on task and mindful of what you're doing. Does anyone have any questions on this? Because that's basically all my tips on how I worked around college, single mom life, and a crazy work schedule. I'm gonna read comments. Okay, if there's no questions, then I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. Give it 1 second. All right, bye guys.